Hello and welcome to Character Unlock. I'm hosting Brooker, and with me, as always, is John.
There you go, Don.
How are you, buddy?
How are you, buddy?
I'm pretty good, man.
Good.
So how are you?
I am all right.
Just a little hay fever, yeah?
Yeah, I hate plants.
It doesn't go away.
It needs to.
No.
It really needs to.
Plants are useful for breathing, and
Not
that's
me.
that's pretty much it. Well, you can breathe a little bit, sufficiently.
Yeah. No, apart from that, I'm all right, mate.
Excellent.
It's nearly the summer holidays. Going on holiday soon.
Yep.
I cannot fucking wait. I need a break.
You're actually using the summer holidays for a holiday.
I know, it's the first time in years.
Fucking mad.
It's fucking expensive as well because it's the goddamn summer holidays.
Well, that's what you get for having a wife who's a teacher and a child who goes to school.
Yeah, I was never going to come out well from that one.
No.
Oh well. Oh well. But it's been good. You know what, mate? It's after the last episode where I played fucking loads. It's been really cool to just go, I don't want to play loads of games anymore. I'm just going to play with one. So,
Yeah.
it's been nice. But it's been loads of films as well. Got to watch a lot of films, which was nice. Watched Midsummer.
Yeah. I watched The Matrix because it got re-released, so
Nice.
it's always good to be able to see a film I wasn't able to see in the cinema at the cinema.
Yeah.
It's now the third film I've done that with now, so
Oh yeah, what were the others?
Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was actually really cool. The fact that it's like films that I had obviously was not old enough to watch in the cinema was pretty cool to be able to see it at the cinema. It's always been the one thing I always try and do is like, even if I've seen the film many times before, like Reservoir Dogs, the chance to see it at the cinema, I can't pass it up because it's where it belongs for most films.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I agree for the most part. I was so pissed off at Cineworld. Yeah, well, recently actually, because The Matrix they did the same, but they've remastered Apocalypse Now, and they've advertised it in Cineworld as 4K remaster with perfect quality Dolby Atmos sound. So I thought, oh cool, I'll book that. Looked at the booking, it's in the smallest screen in the cinema.
Yep.
Put it on the 4K screen, douchebags. Otherwise, I'm not going. I own a copy of the film in 4K already. I don't need to see it just on a standard screen. I've seen it on a standard screen. I want to see it in 4K, please.
Yep.
But Spider-Man gets in the way,
Yeah, Spider-Man.
and now Lion King, Toy Story,
Yeah.
all films. Yeah.
Well, this the fact that the Matrix 4K experience is being shown in 4DX, which isn't also not 4K.
Yeah. It is
Oh, well.
interesting that they've spent the money in putting it through a 4DX conversion, because it's quite a process to make that happen.
Yeah.
So they spent money doing that, but not on the super. I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because soon it will be Fright Fest, and I get to watch 30, 40 films, indie films, shot on tiny little cameras on the fucking IMAX screen in Leicester Square. Basically, the exact opposite of what I'm complaining about now.
Yeah.
And mate, I love Fright Fest, but some of those films look fucking ghastly. They really do.
It's half the point, isn't it?
See, there's looking shit, and there's looking shit because you shouldn't be watching. It's like when you play a NES game on a 60-inch 4K TV, and it's stretched for the whole thing. So there was a film last year I saw. It was called Boar. So it's a giant killer pig movie,
Ooh.
which would have been an okay film. It would have sat nice and comfortably in average indie horror film territory. But because it was up on that big screen and the black and red saturation was just terrible on it, it looked awful. It looked like I was watching a pirated copy of the film. Oh, this isn't good. This is actually quite distracting. So, yeah. But have you? Yeah. I don't know if it would have shown on any films you've seen recently. Have you seen the trailers for Crawl,
I have seen the trailers for Crawl.
the
Funny enough.
Alexander
Yeah.
Arja killer crocodile movie,
Yeah.
and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
No, I've not seen that one.
I see both of those on that big IMAX screen on opening night at Fright Fest.
Ooh.
Mate, I'm so fucking excited.
I I don't mind monster horror movies. So like your shark horrors or your big crocodiles or anaconda stuff
Yeah.
because I don't know, it's just weird. It's like giant animal murdering rampage or for instance a psychic tire.
Ah, Rubber was amazing.
I don't, it's like I've got no issues with those, but for some reason I just can't handle like scary films.
Not everybody can handle horror. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Crawl. I've been looking forward to Crawl for a long time. Alex Arja made a couple of my favourite horror movies. He made a film called Switchblade Romance, which is it's a French horror film. It's part of a set of films called the New French Extreme or New Wave French Extreme, which are nasty movies. Like really, really fucking like with if the nastiest film you've seen is Saw, you've not seen anything yet. Kind of nasty.
Okay.
One of them, a film I've talked about, not necessarily on the podcast, but I've talked about a lot in the past, is called Martyrs. It's my favourite horror movie of all time. But it's also a movie that just kind of, it keeps you awake at night. It's not scary, but it's just so like emotionally affecting that it just will not leave your head. It just lingers and gives you nightmares. Most people that watch it only ever need to watch it once. Me, I watch it at least once a year.
And some people won't even watch it once.
No, well, it's one of those films I don't recommend Martyrs to anybody because I will say this is a really, really good film. Have a read of this. If you like it, I have several copies of it you can borrow. I will not say you must watch this film because I'm not taking that kind of responsibility. And I had the same thing for Switchblade Romance. But yeah, the guy that made that and he made the Hills Have Eyes remake, which is superb. So I'm really quite looking forward to Crawl.
I didn't know they also had a remake. I thought it was
Yeah,
alright.
so the original one was like 1974
No, didn't know.
something. Was made by Wes Craven, the guy that made Scream and
I know who Wes Craven
yeah.
is.
Well, I don't know.
Everyone knows who Wes Craven is.
Not true at all. Uh,
Everybody worth knowing knows who Wes Craven is.
Yeah, true. So yeah, so 2006, I think they remade it, and it was remade by this guy, and it's brilliant. It's nasty, it's scary, it's gory, it's fucking great. So I'm really quite looking forward to him making Crawl, or him showing us Crawl. And Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's produced by Guillermo del Toro.
Cool.
Yeah. It's made by a guy called Andre Overdahl, who made a film called Troll Hunter a few years ago.
Sweet.
And The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is quite scary. It was quite a good scary film. It kind of really atmospheric. It goes a bit batshit at the end, but it did have me even chewing my fingernails. It was quite scary. So, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is also based on a kids' series of books, which is interesting. We may or may not have bought them for Nakia. Anyway, no more film filler. Yeah, lots of films last couple of weeks. Lots of games, or lots of playing, but just one game. So we'll get onto that in a bit. Uh, and yeah, you all right? Nothing big or special? Or anything big or special going
No,
on?
I'm neither big nor special.
All right. It's not what your mum says.
No, I'm very special in my mum's eyes.
Exactly. I'm very special in your mum's eyes too.
You're very special just in general.
Yeah, it's just I have to be. Uh, let's move on from this totally uncomfortable conversation.
Inappropriate.
Yeah. There's not much even news-wise, but you mentioned this earlier on today, so please explain the Pez thing to me, because this is not something I understand like, at all.
So, the world of digital soccer games or football games has two main franchises: EA Sports FIFA and Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah,
So the beginning to this one is that Konami have rebranded Pro Evolution Soccer to eFootball PES. But
why?
that's the beginning because football is more marketable than soccer because soccer is only really used in the United States.
So call it PEF.
So they could Pro Evolution Football, but they wanted to keep PES and Pro Evolution Soccer as a thing. So eFootball, Pro Evolution Soccer, or eFootball PES is the new name going forwards rather.
Okay.
Sorry. But that's the beginning of their rebranding. They don't license things as well as often as EA Sports do, because EA Sports pretty much have the biggest license going, being the FIFA franchise. So in past years, PES have had licenses for just the Champions League, individual clubs. So they've had Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Currently, they've got Boca Juniors, who are an Argentinian team. And they've also had Liverpool in the past, where they can advertise. They advertise in their stadium, just in general, use the likeness of the players, the kits, the stadiums, and such and such. But this time around, similar to the way that they licensed themselves with Boca Juniors, an Argentinian team, because in the most recent iteration of FIFA, Boca Juniors have been labeled as Buenos Aires, which is where they play in Argentina, funnily enough, which kind of flew under the radar a little bit because most people wouldn't go looking at Argentinian clubs unless they're, from Argentina in general. So they wouldn't notice the difference, the fact that it's called Buenos Aires and Boca Juniors was missing.
Yeah.
But this time round, they've licensed themselves one of the biggest football clubs in the world in Juventus. Italian side play black and white stripes, for anyone who doesn't know. Or rather from this season onwards, because black and white stripes, you'll like this, is in American markets to signify usually a referee.
Yeah.
Or an umpire or whatever it is sport-wise.
Yeah.
So Juventus are no longer using black and white stripes on their kits. They're using half black, half white, kind of two blocks.
But they're not an American team.
No, they're not. But to make themselves more marketable in the States, they've gotten rid of the black and white stripes off of their kits.
Okay.
Something they've had for probably a good 100+ years, and they've just removed them because of marketing in America.
Fair
So
enough.
they sold their license and likeness to Konami for eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer. So it's the kits, team, the stadium, the players. That's something else that entirely, but it's all in eFootball PES and not in FIFA, which means that from this point on, until the license expires, FIFA will be branding Juventus as my Italian's terrible, but Piemonte Calcio, which is basically just means it's the region in Turin of Piemonte, and Calcio I believe means team
Okay.
or sports. I don't know which. I don't have the exact translation to it. So basically, it is literally that because they're not using the likeness. So FIFA and EA Sports have turned around and said that the players will still be there going forwards. The players' likeness will still be there, so they're not going to just have random players and completely overhaul the whole and basically lose the biggest team in Italy and one of the biggest teams in Europe and the world.
Yeah.
If you take away, it also has one of the most iconic and most famous world footballers in the world of Cristiano Ronaldo plays at Juventus. So if they were to lose the likeness and that, especially when Cristiano Ronaldo is the cover star of FIFA currently,
Yeah.
because they've got a license to Cristiano Ronaldo, so they won't be able to have his likeness wearing Juventus shirts. He'll probably be wearing Portugal shirts instead.
Okay.
It's a bit like a couple of years back they had a deal with the Seattle Sounders
Yeah.
and Clint Dempsey specifically. So on the Xbox versions of FIFA, especially on the cases in the States, because it was in the States that had Clint Dempsey in the Sounders kit, but in Europe it was just like in the background on the screens he was just Clint Dempsey. The Seattle Sounders are sponsored by Xbox and Microsoft because Seattle.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So the PlayStation iterations of the game, instead of having them wearing Clint Dempsey in Seattle Sounders kit, was in the US kit because PlayStation.
Nice.
So licensing has always been an interesting one, especially with FIFA. It's even more hilarious because the current iteration of FIFA has the Champions League license. One of the UEFA Champions League sponsors is Sony and PlayStation. So even on the Xbox version, if you play a Champions League match, it has PlayStation branding around the pitches.
Yeah.
So it's quite fun to be playing a game on my Xbox and just see PlayStation and for the players and better. And it's like all of the typical design of advertising boards you'd get from Sony and PlayStation around the boards. So yeah, that's the situation of e-football and pro sports soccer.
eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah, and FIFA going forwards is that Konami are usually buying clubs and licensing clubs. So it's only the last couple of years where the licensing has included the name of the team, because in previous iterations they've had licenses with Barcelona and with Bayern Munich, both of which have still been in FIFA as Barcelona and Bayern Munich. The things that are missing are the stadiums usually,
Yeah.
and the kits aren't fully licensed sometimes, so they won't have all three kits, home, away, and third kit. They'll just have like the home and away, and they won't even look right. But this is a big step in the licensing battle and could be one of the major turning points. I think Pro Evolution Soccer has had a license to Serie A, which is the Italian league, before.
Yeah.
Because I think there was at least one season where Serie A and Serie B were Calcio for sports leagues instead of the actual name of the leagues. But they had all of the teams anyway, so licensing a league wasn't so much of a problem. But yeah, taking away a big club is a stepping stone to something possibly special, where FIFA may need to start pulling it out their arse, but they won't, and nothing will change because no one ever cares. Nothing ever changes.
Well, no, because what will happen, I see, when it comes to licensing, because they've had this with PES before, haven't they? So what will happen is, in 2 years' time, the rights will come up for something again, and Konami will go, nah, we don't need to spend any money. Didn't help us last time. And FIFA will grab it for next to free.
Yeah. So in a couple of years' time, there will probably be announcements saying that EA Sports FIFA will have Juventus licensed, and they'll make it seem like it's a brand new to the market. And PES will move on to having the licensing of another club, because that's what they do. They just chop and change between clubs. So I think they've also licensed Manchester United, because they, after losing Liverpool back to FIFA, they've gone after Man United now instead.
Yeah.
Or it might be the other way around. I can't remember.
Wow.
So that's. Oh, and one other thing that's come out of it. According to CNBC, EA's value in the stocks had dropped by 660 million in one day.
Wow. Just wow.
Yep.
It's a lot of money to lose.
It is a lot of money to lose, but they've lost one of the biggest clubs in the world,
Yeah.
and because of that, they also technically have lost their cover star because he plays at that club.
Oh dear. Not going to say I'm sad about that,
No.
because yeah, EA are not the greatest company in the world. Them and their surprise
Yeah.
mechanics.
I mean, to be fair, 660 million out of EA stock
Oh yeah, it's not that
is
much.
is is they're a $26 billion company. That's like 3%.
Yeah.
So, but other other people have lost massive amounts of stock, but it's just the environment we live in where stocks just chop and change so much. It's a huge change. 3% is a big drop in theory.
Yeah.
For it doesn't matter how much you have in your company. 3% based on one deal. It's pretty fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's not like they won't make that money back again at some point.
No.
Especially with the launch of a new game coming out in 3 months.
Yeah. True enough.
Right. But that's that.
Cool. Other stuff to talk about. The Nintendo Switch Lite. The much rumoured worst kept secret in handheld video gaming. The Nintendo Switch Lite. So they showed this off last week, I think. Due to come out end of September. It is slightly smaller than a Switch.
That makes sense. Otherwise, it'd be a bit stupid to call it a Switch Lite.
Yeah, so the Switch is, I think, 6.2 inches, or a 6.2 inch screen. The Switch Lite is a 5.5. It is now a dedicated handheld, so the Joy-Cons don't come off. It's a solid bit of kit. There's no dock, no TV mode. It's just a
Okay.
handheld. Apart from the bit where I don't think you can call it a Switch if you can't have a TV mode.
So you technically can't call it Switch because it doesn't switch.
Surely it's now just a DS.
Well, it's not even DS because you know
I suppose,
there's only one screen.
yeah, I suppose DS is dual screen. A single screen. The Nintendo SS, yeah, that'd go down well. Yeah, I don't know.
The Nintendo DS over 2.
Yeah, I, I I'm confused as to the point because you can buy a Switch. Granted, it's £100 more, give or take, to buy a Switch that you can plug into your TV. But you can take the Joy-Cons off. You can play with other people because, of course, it still has a portable mode. But you can't play with your mates because the Joy-Cons don't come off.
Well, it's not just that. Can you even connect Joy-Cons up to the Switch Lite?
Yes, you can.
That's all right. I was going to say it's like this is where they've released a handheld that you can't play with your friends because you can't connect other controllers.
No, so you can add your own other Joy-Cons and controllers and etc. 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 And there will be some kind of data transfer, so you can transfer between your Switch and your Switch Lite. Again, unless you're replacing it, why? I don't get the point. Who's going to buy a Switch, a full-size Switch, and say, this is my one for at home, and then get a Switch Lite and go, this is my one for on the train? That is literally the point of the Switch. If you're not going to use the Switch, if you're not going to take it off the dock and take it with you, buy an Xbox. I was quite positive about this when I thought about it, but now I actually think more and actually put some detail to it. I'm like, I don't see the point. I don't know who it's for.
For kids.
Yeah, I suppose, but Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly,
No, wait,
in,
no rumble, no motion camera.
well, it's not like they were really used.
No. Won't be
It's
compatible with cardboard, obviously, or Nintendo Labo. Sorry, not
Yep.
cardboard. Nah. If it comes out at 200 quid, I can half see the point, but at the same time, not so much.
It's it seems like a bit of a backward step. At the same time, it also feels like Nintendo don't know their audience, apart from the fact they know their audience are fucking morons and will buy anything they put out.
Yeah, yeah, there is that. My favourite bit of the announcement, though, is there is uh, in November, there is a Pokemon Sword and Shield Special Edition being released. So, I don't know, I'm guessing it will be Sword and Shield design on across the back of it, but it doesn't come with the game. Well done, Nintendo. Fucking idiots.
Well, this is the first. I say this is the first. I'm 98% certain this is the first time where you can buy both Pokemon games in one special edition pack. Because whenever they've released two, you've always had to buy them individually
Yeah.
for full Nintendo price of their games of whatever the fuck price they decide to launch them as. But this Sword and Shield actually has the option to buy both in one go,
Yeah.
which would probably be at a push maybe £5 cheaper than buying them individually anyway.
Okay.
But you also get a special edition case for it. Yep. Now, it sounds great, but you can only have one cartridge in your console at a time.
Yeah.
And for a game company where, in theory, you could just have the game saves on an SD card, and therefore making it really easy, because especially with software stuff and Nintendo as a whole, their games are not exactly large,
No.
and it's pretty easy to just put the games software-wise into, well, SD cards.
Yeah.
Why the fuck don't they just... Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
just
that there must be a market for it because, Nintendo wouldn't spend this kind of money building and selling a new device if they didn't think there was somebody who was going to buy it. I'm just not sure who. But to be fair, I can barely justify still owning my Switch.
I can't justify owning my Switch.
I have
Even with the even with the Pokemon game that's coming,
yeah.
I'm tempted to not even bother.
I have a 6-year-old that likes playing Mario Kart on it. It's
Yeah.
literally it. If I was going out and buying a console now, and Nikita looked at me and went, "Can we have a Switch so I can play Mario Kart?" I would go, "I'm not spending £300 for a Mario Kart machine."
But you've already spent the money,
But I've already
and
spent the money.
the only
It's
reason to keep it is because of Nikita.
yeah. It's in the house. I don't know how much I'd be able to sell it for with the games. A couple hundred quid. That's fine. I'd lose some money, but at the same time, actually, occasionally Nikita likes to play it. So while I own it, might as well continue using it.
Yeah. No, you're completely right. I mean, at some point in the future, she won't want to play Mario Kart,
No.
and at some point in the future, you would have probably gotten rid of your Switch, and she'll ask.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. There are plenty of other
That.
games I've got that she
Yeah.
plays, so it's not that big a deal.
Get
That's
Crash Team Racing.
well, no, it's not just that. Not only is it a nice game to play, because she plays Injustice with me in that, which is great, but it's a beat 'em up. So, she's 6. Well, she's nearly 6. Mario Kart's a nice game.
Yeah.
So actually, and it's on a controller that her tiny hands can hold, because she might be my kid, but she's not my size yet. She's still got fucking baby hands. The Joy-Con works perfectly for her, and she loves it. It's fine. It's not, and it doesn't take up any room. It's a tiny little machine,
Yeah.
and it's a Nintendo box. It will never lose its value that badly. Until the new one comes out, I'll still be able to sell it for and not lose too much. But yeah. But at the same time, Nintendo have also announced a slight hardware revision for the Switch, which will see it get a slightly better battery life.
Yay!
That's all it'll get, is a slightly better battery life. But
I can't even say that's all it needs because mine's permanently in docked mode.
well, yeah, the few times I've used it, my hands cramp up before the battery runs out. So it's not something that affects me. But people, I do know people we know people that Colin takes his travelling with him all the time. I'm sure a better battery would work brilliantly for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm if I still have it because Lee seems to want me to keep hold of it for when we go to EGX. I won't have it for much time after EGX if I still have it by then.
No, so this was always the thing that I was always like, well, I'll keep mine for EGX, but I'm not going to EGX.
No, you're not. Sad times indeed.
I'm still trying to
Weasel away.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get out of what has appeared, and I want to go to London instead. Mainly
Do
because it's
both.
London. Well, yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But I've had to, cancel on you guys so that you can organise stuff without me, just in case. You never know. I might be able to make it, but I doubt it.
It'd be a lot better with you.
Oh, I love you too.
Mostly because Lee abuses me, and
I
I don't
abuse
think
you too.
Yeah, but I don't think I should be in a room with Lee alone.
I don't think you should be in a room with Lee alone either. I think that could be quite disastrous.
Yeah.
So Nintendo Switch Lite. Do I want to talk about this last bit of news I found today?
Maybe.
You know what? Yeah, I do, because it's semi-interesting.
Semi.
Well, fucking child. So, do you remember when Hit Record teamed up with Ubisoft to do the artwork competition for Beyond Good and Evil 2? You can say no.
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay, so Hit Record is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company.
Right.
And he teamed up with Ubisoft and kind of created this platform for people to submit art. Not Beyond Good and Evil art, but just art to be in the game.
Yeah.
Caused a bit of shit, because obviously, basically, it was asking people to create work to put in their game without paying them.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the details. I'm not an artist, so the news story kind of blew past me quite quickly. Levitt turned up on stage, if I remember rightly, at E3 last year and announced it.
Yeah, I think I remember it now.
Yeah. So Ubisoft have teamed with Hit Record again, and this time for Watch Dogs Legion.
Okay.
And they want users to create music for Watch Dogs. I think they're going to pick like 10 winners that will be turned into full songs, and those winners will get paid an amount, which I don't think is very high.
It's still pretty cool to have your stuff featured in a game.
Yeah, see, I'm conflicted. So I think it is really cool if you're artistic and you want to just get yourself out there and you want to do something. It is really cool to put that into the competition, if you like, and maybe hopefully turn up in the game and you get to go, oh, my music's in Watch Dogs 3, which is really cool. But
I know it's a really shit thing to say, but it's exposure.
This is where the problem lies, though.
Yeah.
Paying in exposure is not payment.
No.
And the thing is, Ubisoft know this. Yeah, this is something that websites do a lot for their writers. We can't pay you, but we'll get your name out there. Well, I can put my name out there myself. Luckily, anything personally, that's not something I'm personally bitter about. I don't care. I don't write because I want to make it my job. I write because I enjoy writing. And if people want to let me use their websites to save me having to build my own, perfect. But paying an exposure, I think, is a bullshit way of getting out of not paying your writers, or in this case, your musicians, which is a whole different skill set. And people get paid a lot of money to compose music for games.
Yeah.
No one in their right mind would ever say to Hans Zimmer, look, we're doing another Transformers movie. Do you want to come and do the music? We can't pay you, but people will know it was you.
But I think it's a different kettle of fish entirely. It's not like you're doing a load of work out of pocket for the sake of doing it because you want to get. You're doing it on false pretenses, thinking that you're not going to get paid, or rather, you're going to get paid at the end of it when you're not. But this is them coming out and saying, "Look, if you want people to see your stuff, then absolutely enter this competition, for lack of a better word for it,
it's basically
to get your
a lottery.
stuff."
The amount of people that are going to put their names in, and 10 are going to get picked. This is a lottery.
I'm assuming that they need to enter with something, and then it get chosen based on on them listening to it, instead of just at random. We're going to have 10 songs from people.
I haven't watched. There is a video explaining how the whole thing works.
Yeah.
But what the things I've read, so it says Hit Record claims each of the 10 songs contributed will receive $2,000, split up between each artist whose contribution ends up in a finished song. So, I'm not sure if that's like $200 each, or £2,000 each, or $2,000 each. Sorry, or I don't understand it.
So it sounds like it's $2,000 split between the ones who get a completed song. So it's 10 artists will be chosen.
$200
with the possibility of getting at minimum $200, or rather at minimum zero, because their song might not get finished and put into the game, even if they are chosen.
Yeah,
that's how it sounds.
But there's also, at this point, there's no royalties. Ubisoft own your music; they can do with that what they please.
They could end up using it forever.
Yeah, so if it suddenly becomes the theme tune to the next 4 Watch Dogs games, you still won't be paid for it.
No.
Personally, I'm not a fan of this. There are lots of people who compose for a living, who you wouldn't dream of taking work from them for free.
Well, that's the thing, is that these are people who compose for a living won't be entering this competition.
No, they won't.
This is entirely people and hobbyists are going to enter this thinking that they have a chance of maybe in the future getting a job making and composing music for a living for a big video games company. So I've got a friend who occasionally likes to make music just for the sake of doing it. Yeah. It's great for him, because if he throws a bit of music together and it gets chosen, he could end up with a job in the music industry out of nothing.
Yeah. Does he have a SoundCloud?
I believe so.
So what he needs is to make a really good tweet, and then when it blows up, stick the SoundCloud link in it.
Yeah.
That's more likely to get him noticed than Ubisoft. I'll be honest.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like half of these random artists that come out of nowhere music-wise, where it's just like, oh yeah, they got retweeted because they were singing a cover version of an artist's song who happened to be on their Twitter feed at that moment in time and gone, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, and retweeted it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of thing that makes people famous now.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's actually been quite a few random artists who've got full-on record deals and loads of fucking money based on happening to at one of their idols a cover version of their song at the exact right time and then get retweeted.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a fan. And I think a big part of it actually is once again, I know I keep coming back to films, but film creation, it's all unionized. people that work on these, whether or not they're famous or whether or not they're unknowns, they're protected by the people that make the movies.
Yep.
There is no union in video game development. None. And these people won't be protected by anybody. And Ubisoft, I like Ubisoft. I know a lot of people don't. But they will not look after these people.
No, they won't.
But it's completely okay that you disagree. I'm not a fan of this kind of. It looks like I personally think it looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt trying to give people a chance to make a name for themselves, whereas in fact, what it really is cheap user-generated content.
Yeah, it's cheap user-generated content advertised as a sweepstake stroke lottery.
Yeah.
I get it. It's not the best way of going forward, but this is something. It's not going to bring the eyes of people who are doing this for money.
No.
Because no one in their right mind who gets paid to do this kind of stuff is going to enter this competition to get their stuff possibly put into a video game.
Yeah.
It'd be like me recording a load of voice work and then sending it to whoever the local indie developers are, and then possibility of being put into their video game with some voice work, or getting sent a script of things to read, and then I'm now a voice actor in a video game for free.
Yeah. But not only that, they can use your voice in any game they like after that as well.
Yeah. It's just on a much, much larger scale. If it was a smaller company that had said that, dear budding music people on SoundCloud, can you make us some stuff for free?
Yeah.
This is a massive company turning around and saying, look, we want to engage with the fans. If you make music and you want it to be used in one of our video games, then please submit some music here, and we might pay you for it because we might use it.
Yeah.
And if we use it, we will pay you for it.
Yeah. It just seems so exploitative.
Yeah, I entirely get where you're coming from, but I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think if they could guarantee looking after the people that
they can't
working with,
necessarily guarantee looking after their current staff or any staff in general.
I don't mean guarantee them jobs. I mean just they need to. There needs to be more than just we'll pay you a portion of a £2,000 pool that we've put to the side. It's Ubisoft, man. You could shake out 2 or 3 books in the office and that £2,000 would fall out.
There's probably £2,000 sitting in one of the sofas just magically.
Yeah.
Or just that. Yes, there probably could be a larger pool of money. Maybe $2,000 per person.
Yeah.
Who gets their music featured, and then it's $2,000 per time their music is used in another game.
Yeah.
They're probably not likely to get used again in another game.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm taking things to an extreme when I say things like that.
It depends mostly on what the type of music is that they're putting out.
Yeah.
If it's just like some generic menu music, or just like some background music being used somewhere, as opposed or it's Watch Dogs, so radio.
Yeah.
So we could end up with a dubstep radio station.
Yeah.
And because that's the majority of the music they might end up getting sent is a load of shitty dubstep.
Yeah. But I think I would prefer if they made it an actual, competition. Submit us your music, what you can do. We will fly you out to the studio where you can make music for us for the game. You have access to our studio and we will pay you for your time. Stick you on the credits.
They probably will be in the credits.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. At that point, it still doesn't cost Ubisoft much in comparison to the rest of their development budget. Got some goodwill, got some good music, got some fresh talent, which everything needs. Not just games, films and TV and music and books. Everything needs fresh talent.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, maybe shipping some people out to, I want to say, Toronto.
Yeah.
or Quebec. I can't remember where the fuck Ubisoft are.
I don't know. Montreal.
Somewhere in, yeah.
So
Oh, I was
Quebec.
half right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, flying them out to Montreal to do a bit of music work for a couple of days. Let's face it, if these people probably aren't used to having ridiculously close deadlines for making their music, so this could end up being that they probably will end up with a couple of bits of generic music that people already have, as opposed to some new stuff.
But what I mean by that is, it's not going to hurt anybody, though, is it?
No.
And these people get a taste of the industry they're trying to get into, and at that point you go, oh shit, maybe this ain't for me.
Yeah, that's true. I might put this to my mate who likes to make hobbyist music.
Yeah, do it, man. Just literally, just got to search, just Google Ubisoft and hit record.
Yeah.
It's quite a big deal. I haven't watched the video only because I read about it this afternoon, but it could be interesting. And if he does, I hope he does well. I in an industry where every other day I read another article about some bullshit design choice or some bullshit way of fucking over workers or players or anything. I'm like, I don't believe that Ubisoft have anybody's best interests at heart.
No.
And and I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he's great. I think he's a great character. I think he's a great filmmaker, a great actor. I would I want to see him do well. And him doing stuff in video games is really cool. But yeah.
The way that he's partnered himself up makes it kind of seem like he's possibly getting a pretty large amount of money for essentially trying to force people into an industry where they will probably not get treated very well.
Yeah, but I think because Ubisoft kind of look for deals like this, because aren't Ubisoft partnered with Spectravision, which is Elijah Wood's company?
I think so, because I'm pretty sure I saw Elijah Wood doing some Ubisoft stuff in the past.
So I think they seek out these kind of deals just to kind of expand a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is very good. I think it's cool. But yeah, I'm not going to hark on about this all night. Sometimes you read it and you just go, ooh. Just kind of wince at reading it. So maybe it turns out good. I hope it does. I'm not holding my breath. So, video games?
Video games.
This will be quick, I reckon, mate.
Yeah, well, especially when the only games I've played are stuff I've played and talked about mostly in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in exactly the same boat, so why don't you go first, mate? What have you been playing?
So, just because it's the most cathartic, peaceful thing in the world right now for me. Red Dead Online.
Okay.
It's really fucking weird just how this has just clicked with me, is that I can spend and I mean literally spend hours in a row just chilling in a row, chilling out with a couple of buddies, riding our horses around, shooting birds out the sky, killing alligators, bit of casual fishing, and picking herbs while wandering around, and occasionally doing a couple of stranger missions or clearing out a couple of hideouts. It's relaxed, peaceful, no effort required whatsoever. It's just a full chill out time. If I smoked weed, it would be perfect. Put some fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's calm, relaxing. There's nothing going on whatsoever, and it works. And
Nice.
if anyone needs that kind of just sit there and chill type game, it works because of that. And I can recommend it to people who will just let your chance for your brain to just switch off and just let the world happen around you, rather than just focusing on it. There's zero focus required. The online has gone very chilled. There's almost no griefing whatsoever, but they've also introduced a defensive and offensive mode.
Okay.
So offensive mode is something you get forced into if you're aggressive,
Yeah.
and it's basically you are just completely visible on the map to everyone and anyone if they see you, so they can avoid you at all costs, or other offensive players can just run up and just absolutely just go to war with each other. But in defensive mode, you get grayed out on the map, so you're less visible.
Okay.
Your blip on the radar. You don't show up on the map unless you're close. Your blip on the radar doesn't really show up at all when you're in defensive mode, and also auto aim is disabled.
Nice.
So people have to manually aim to shoot you if they want to. Plus, when you're in defensive mode, your health and damage taken improve, so you can take more shots, essentially.
That's kind of
So,
cool.
so in defensive mode, you can actually usually take more than one shotgun shot to the head.
Nice.
Yeah. So just running around in a little posse, shooting birds out the sky, riding trains and shooting animals, hunting, fishing, picking plants, doing a couple of missions, and daily challenges are a thing now. So today there was one of the daily challenges was petting a dog.
Cool.
Yeah,
Proper
exactly like
chilled
that.
out.
Yeah, there's
Nice.
the daily challenges have some really weird ones like killing certain animals or skinning certain animals. I think there was earlier on in the week. There was one. Actually, I think it was. Is either Sunday or Saturday just gone? It was fucking infuriating. There was one. It was kill and skin 5 chickens, and then kill and skin 2 roosters. But the rooster, there's a chicken coop in one of the ranches, which usually has plenty of chickens in it. Plus, chickens can kind of be found in various locations around. Roosters, however, are really fucking rare. And 2 of them, it took me the best part of about 6 hours to find the second one. It took me about 3 hours to find the first one, and the second one was just because, and because they're so rare, whenever I was launching myself into the map, I was going to where the rooster's supposed to be, and there was usually like 2 or 3 people nearby doing the exact same thing. So of course it wasn't fucking spawning because they weren't going away far enough for it to have a chance to load the area again.
Yeah.
And in the end, I actually got myself a video because it took so long. I recorded myself riding in, running up, and just punting the rooster to
Fair
kill it.
enough.
I didn't shoot it, didn't stab it, didn't go for a clean kill or anything. I just wanted that fucker dead, so I just booted it one, and then plucked it, and then I was done, and that was me finished for the day.
Nice.
So even the simplest of daily challenges can get quite stressful because often when that daily challenge shows up, all of a sudden that animal just stops spawning.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Yesterday there was getting seasoned exotic bird meat.
Okay.
Exotic bird meat is usually on a pelican. Now I'm pretty confident I've seen pelicans spawn pretty frequently in certain areas.
Yeah.
So I went there, didn't see a single fucking pelican the whole time I was playing yesterday. I was seeing herons in areas where normally that's where the pelicans and not the herons would be. Do you know what happened today? Loaded the game up,
Pelicans everywhere.
walked forward about 10 feet, looked up. There was 3 pelicans flying above my head.
Nice. What was
Yeah.
that you were saying about it being relaxing?
It is really relaxing, but even the most relaxing things can be really fucking infuriating. But they're daily challenges. You don't have to do them.
Yeah.
There's 7 daily challenges a day. You get an award for completing a daily challenge every day for 28 days in a row.
Nice.
And multipliers for the rewards for doing the daily challenges. And then there's other awards that you can just kind of do. But they've added in the ability to reset awards.
Cool.
So there's things like if you pick 100 herbs, or you sell 100 herbs to the doctor, or you pick 1,000 herbs, you get 1,000 animal parts, which is pretty easy to do when you get 5 bits of meat off of an alligator, 2 teeth,
Yeah.
and the pelt from the alligator. So getting 1,000's pretty quick, and you
Yeah.
can reset them back down to 0. You get a little gold reward
Nice.
each time you do it, and it's just rather than just sitting there forever of, well, I've already done this one, so I no longer need to do it anymore. But it's pretty cool that you can just reset your rewards back down, and it saves, puts a check mark against it every time you've reset it. So it's a little bit of a bragging rights to do with your friends, I guess, on rewards. So I've selling 100 herbs to the doctor. I've hit level 9 on now.
Awesome.
So that's 900 herbs sold to the doctor. That's how much I've been playing it in the last couple of weeks.
That's all right.
That's how many herbs I've picked and sold.
Nice. If that's how you want to spend your time, why the fuck not?
Exactly. And it's things like that are the reason to why I don't play most of my other video games that I own.
Nice. Is that it for your playing then, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me done.
Ah, nice. Well, mate, my couple of weeks ain't been much different. So, the last episode, I think I rattled through like 3 games that I'd played. 2 of them I'd started and finished in that 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd done quite a hefty amount of gaming in the last couple of weeks. So, this last week or so, I went, you know what? I'm not worried about finishing games. I'm not worried about playing anything new. There's nothing new coming out for a little while, so I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to play a game I know and I love, and sadly, a game I've talked about far too much on this podcast in the last 6 months. I put Hitman back on. Mainly because a couple of weeks ago there was a new elusive target, one of the ones from Hitman 1. So I know I've spoken about it before, but obviously the elusive targets are timed, so you get 10 days. It used to be 2. Thank God it's not 2 anymore, because I would have missed this one. So you get 10 days, get into a map, kill guy, leave, and don't get caught. Because if you fail, that's it. You only get 1 shot. Ish. So yeah, so I went and done it. I was like, you know what? I really kind of want to keep playing Hitman 2. So I went through the achievements and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and 100% this fucking game. And it ain't going to be easy, because some of those trophies are bastards. But I think it's going to be fun. So,
Yeah.
for the last, I'd say, week and a bit, I've been playing Hitman 2, trying to just clear achievements. But I think that the best way I've found of doing it is to go through each map. So location by location, clear the achievements, and move on. So I've done 3 so far. So of course, Hitman 2, the legacy packs, all the Hitman 1 maps, basically when you play the story, you play Prologue, Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, all on the Hitman 2 install. But all of those maps obviously have achievements with them as well. So I've done the first 3 locations in Hitman 1. So I've done Paris, Italy, and Morocco. And some of them are fucking infuriating. Really fucking infuriating. There's the, you got to kill the guy with a cannon in
Yeah.
Sapienza, which took some timing.
It's surprisingly easy once you know how to do it and you have all of the equipment. But it's the getting into that position is fucking hard.
Yeah. The same guy, I had to shoot him through the eye, through his telescope.
That I've not done that one yet.
That one was actually surprisingly easy once I realised what I had to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously he has an observatory. All
Yep.
you need is to smuggle in a sniper rifle to the church tower, climb up the church tower, shoot an electric box, it opens up the observatory, and he goes, oh look, the observatory's open, and goes and looks through the telescope. And you can see the telescope, and you can see his eye appears in it.
Okay.
And you just shoot it, and you get a little cutscene where you're shooting through the eye, through the telescope. It was quite cool. Like that same map, there's an achievement for Unleashing the Kraken.
Uh,
Yeah,
what?
there is a ship in the harbour that if you zoom into it, it has bells on, and if you shoot the bells in a specific order, a sea monster comes up and destroys the ship. It's fucking great. This is what I've spent my last week doing, just stupid shit like that. It's fucking brilliant.
I knew there was one of the challenges was to shoot all of the crocodile inflatables, which I still haven't managed to do because I can't fucking find one of them.
Yeah, so what's quite good is you don't need to do all of the challenges in the game.
Yeah,
Uh, you just need to get like full mastery of each location,
yeah,
which is quite easy overall.
yeah.
If you're not as big a fan of the game as me, I'm quite happy to play missions over and over and over again, and I fucking love it. If you're not at that level, you will find it frustrating because you have to play levels over and over and over again.
It Getting close to mastery on every mission is quite easy. Getting full mastery is the fucking hard part
Yeah,
because I did enjoy the game and I have played it a lot and I've got mastery on a couple of the levels, but only on the levels that I really fucking enjoyed.
yeah,
So I know fucking how easy it is to get really close, but then once you get close and you look at the things that are left, it's like, okay, so I've run out of easy fucking XP of getting these kills because I've done all of the fucking mission stories.
yeah,
What the fuck do I need to do? And then it's simple things like, oh yeah, there's a challenge for mopping the floor while
yeah,
dressed as a man in a chicken suit or something stupid.
yeah,
And you just then have to go, or dressing up as a mascot. I think there's trying some of the challenges where it's like get the race black flagged
yeah,
in the first one of Hitman 2's maps,
yeah,
which you can only do by getting a lot of kills of non-targets, so it really fucks your score.
yeah,
So it's like, here you go, here is a massive XP boost, but also you need to reload the game because you've just fucked your fucking score.
yeah, yeah. And this is the problem. If you're precious about your score or you're precious about not killing people, you kind of doing it wrong. But there's always a challenge or two you can do quite quickly. And actually, like the trick I found, I did Paris. So do you remember we talked about this with Hitman 1? In Paris, there's the challenge to kill both the people within 10 seconds of each other with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. But I did that suit only, silent assassin
Yep.
on master difficulty.
Yep.
So you do that, and because you then get points for suit only, silent assassin, and sniper assassin. You get points for all three of those across all three levels.
Yeah.
I did that, and my XP went through the fucking roof. So if you can do a good challenge, if you can do a decent challenge on the hardest difficulty, you only need to do one, and you'll bash through quite a bit of XP. But at the same time, you don't really need to do it because you've got to do all the mission stories. And I did cheat at one point and just do all the mission stories, but not do the kill, and then do the kill for one of the mission stories. So finished the mission, all my XP raked up because I did the mission stories all in one go. But the problem with that was there was an achievement for killing somebody using 3 different mission stories. So I had to follow through with the kills anyway.
Yeah.
So I then had to go back and do all the kills again, all the stories again. It didn't bother me because I was playing the game and playing a game I love. But
That's where save point abuse really comes in. So it's you save it just before either before you do the kill, or just before you complete the mission story. You stick a save in it, then do it, load the save, and then you've done it for the sake of the challenge and the achievement.
yeah,
Because that's probably my favorite thing with Hitman is that if you've completed a mission story, you've completed a challenge, even if you load back to before the challenge completion, it keeps it.
yeah. But this is why you play in online mode.
Yeah.
Because it keeps all those challenges. It literally updates that challenge straight to their servers as soon as you've done it, which is great. And there was one mission. I did one of the summer bonus missions. I did that on because, well, frankly, I got quite frustrated at the fact that I thought I'd finished it, worked out I hadn't, and then fucked one of the stories. I was like, okay, I'm just running through this now. It wasn't the game's fault, it was me not reading the achievement list, which is another fucking complaint. I hate the Xbox achievement list. I hate it. I can't. Just give me the PlayStation one. It's so much neater, so much nicer.
No,
Uh,
it has to be sorted by how close you are to completing it.
yeah, I don't care about that. I care about seeing it in order because they've made it in
Yeah,
order. But
yeah. Or it's
yeah,
really fucking infuriating when you see one of those achievements, like you've completed 75% of this one, and it's the one you're closest to.
yeah,
And then you take a look at the achievement, and it's like complete the game on the ultra hard ultimate difficulty.
yeah,
Or something really stupid like find 1 million of these things, and you're at 75% because you found 750,000. But
yeah,
you've also been playing the game for 3.5 years. So
yeah,
you're looking at it going, I really, really don't want to get the rest of this achievement because it's taken me 3.5 years to collect this many.
yeah,
I really can't be fucking asked to collect the rest.
yeah.
I just want to have fun.
But for me, so this is the first bit of proper like achievement or trophy chasing I've done in a couple of years. I'm only semi-seriously doing it. At the moment, I'm putting the Xbox on and playing Hitman because I haven't really got much else I fancy playing. Uh, it's easy to jump in, do a mission, and turn it off again. It's a pick up and play game at this point because I know most of the missions so well. I can pick it up, I can do a quick mission, clear some challenges, get some XP, and then turn it off. You know. And when you get full mastery of a level, it makes life so much easier later on. So I've got full mastery of Sapienza now.
Yep.
Uh, the elusive target that hits on Friday is in Sapienza. So,
I think the only elusive target I've actually successfully done was the one that was in Sapienza, the last one. Because all the other ones, I've done really stupid things and fucked it.
oh, the last Sapienza one was two at the
The
same time. There were two guys. There were two separate elusive targets in Hitman 1, and they put them both into the map at the same time, and it was hard.
I
Uh,
tell a lie. I've also done the Undying again.
nice. Everyone wants to kill Sean Bean.
Yeah, I think I did it by poisoning his coffee cup because he gave me the idea.
Nice.
I, if it wasn't for that, I never would have even considered poisoning his coffee cup. But it was awesome because I walked into the room. He told me about poisoning the coffee cup, and I was like, well, in that case, stuck some poison in his fucking coffee cup, and just went and stood by the door,
Yeah.
by the race exit. I was like, just gonna wait here for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. I am, touch wood, I'm doing quite well so far. Since the game came out in November, I have not missed an elusive target, and I've not failed one yet either.
Neither's Lee, but it doesn't seem to be saving it.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
But no, because I got so frustrated with Hitman 1, I loved it and I wanted to keep playing it, but the elusive targets, because they were only there for 2 days, made it tough.
Yeah.
So 10 days is actually really good. It's perfect. It's just over a week.
Yeah. So
So,
it literally means that you couldn't do it this weekend, so you've got next instead.
yeah. You
It
know,
works. It's great.
I'm not playing this to get on, get number one in the leaderboards or anything. I'm playing it because I really love it. I just happen to be quite good at it. So, yeah. So that's literally, mate. That's my gaming for the last 2 weeks.
Now, be honest, it's like the last year and a half.
Well, there is that. But at least I've tried to squeeze other stuff in. I have bought another game. Uh, I bought it this week. I will hopefully talk about it a couple of episodes time because I'm looking forward to play. I just want to sit down and play and just enjoy it for 8 to 10 hours, and then come back and talk to you about it later on.
Nice.
But talking of Fright Fest, Man of Medan's going to have a preview event at Fright Fest, which I think is really cool. So Man of Medan is the new episodic-ish horror game made by Supermassive Games, the guys that made Until Dawn. and it's going to have a preview event at Fright Fest at the end of August.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and get myself onto that when the tickets for it go up. Quite looking forward to it. Should be good. Yeah, that's it, mate. I think I'm all done.
Excellent.
Really is a short episode for us.
What is it? $1.20?
Yeah,
No, it's
about
not even
that.
that yet.
What we on? Call recorder says hour 25, and we were talking for about quarter of an hour beforehand. So
Yeah. All right.
seems like a nice short episode. Good way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a recommendation for this week, mate?
Uh, no, because I haven't even looked at what the games are called is, apart from I think Meet the Robinsons, which is not a good game.
Fair enough. I will recommend. I've not played it myself, but I have it installed. Metal Gear Solid 5 is now on Game Pass.
Actually, no, I am going to recommend something. I'm going to say Portal Bridge Constructor. Everyone needs
Yeah.
to play Portal Bridge Constructor because it's fucking hilarious and amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I have it on my laptop. I bought it the day it came out, and then kind of regretted buying it on my laptop and thought this would be really good on PC, on iPad. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I should have bought it on my iPad, and maybe will again one day because it is the perfect, just kind of while you're dicking around watching TV kind of game.
Well, it's on Game Pass, which means that at some point it'll be on Switch.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not keeping my Switch for a game that I already own on PC.
Yeah, but it's on Game Pass, so you don't need to pay for it.
I'm not keeping my Switch for a game that I can get for free on Game Pass.
You are keeping your Switch anyway. It doesn't matter.
True.
It's just you'll have another reason to turn your Switch on
Yeah.
apart from Mario Kart.
Yeah,
And Portal Bridge Constructor is a pretty decent reason
yeah. But yeah,
for all of like the 7 missions you'll be able to complete
Yeah.
because it will probably be way too difficult to do on Switch.
yes. It's a good shout though. Portal Bridge Constructor is a lot of fun. I really like it. Cool. I think that's us wrapping it up then, mate. So until next time, where can people get hold of you, mate?
So on Twitter, I'm the John_CU, and on Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver.
So you're the John_see me.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Cool. And I am on Twitter at Brooker411. And we, as a podcast, a team, a collective, a band, are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Character Unlock. Come find us, come chat to us, come talk to us. We do respond sometimes, occasionally.
Mostly Brooker,
Mostly me.
because I'm not polite enough.
No, you're not. But yeah, I suppose then, mate, that's us done. And so, thanks for listening, everybody. And until next time, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Say goodbye, John.
Bye.
Bye bye.